Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, let us see one more real-time concept. In real time, what you do? You basically host your websites, right? Yeah. Then for distribution and content delivery networking, you use Amazon CloudFront, right? Yeah. Now, let's say if you are using this CloudFront distribution to host your website, that is to cache your website, to provide low latency response to your users, then what happens? In this case, whenever you are hosting your website, there may be some vulnerabilities happen. That is, first we need to protect our app, right? Yeah. So in real time, while hosting a website, we may face multiple vulnerabilities. Among those vulnerabilities, these are the major facing vulnerabilities by website owners. So what are these, sir? They're nothing but general web-based vulnerabilities or unauthorized SQL injection related vulnerabilities are there. And some anonymous IP requests may come and hit your website to occupy your website related bandwidth, and some unexpected headers related requests may come to your website request, and some users may try to request your website with a querying request, and some may even try to post some data into your websites through the requests, and some persons like to even stop the traffic, that is they want to occupy the network traffic of your website through sending multiple requests by using URI to your website within specific amount of time. Let's say if someone is sending multiple requests, that is more than 100 requests within 5 minutes, then what you can understood from that? It might be the thing to consider among one of vulnerability only, right? Yeah. So like this, attackers or hackers can try to hack your website. They try to post some data, or they try to occupy your network related bandwidth, or they may inject SQL related injections, or they may send anonymous IP requests as well. So in order to overcome your website from all these vulnerabilities, you have a service. What is that service, sir? WAF. Amazon WAF. That is Web Access Firewall. By using this, how can we able to overcome these issues, sir? By using this, you actually create a web ACL. Then in that web ACL, you create some rules and you attach that web ACL to your CloudFront distribution. So whenever you created your web ACL and you attached that web ACL to your CloudFront distribution, in that scenario, what happens is whenever any user or hacker, whoever may be, request for your website, that request first reach to your CloudFront distribution, and that request need to be validated by using this web ACL based on the rules that you provided. And if the request that is allowed by this web ACL, then only that request will be sent back into your website and that particular user got the response. If let's say this web ACL detects something based on the rules that you provided, the request sent by the user is not valid. That is, the request may belong to any one of these vulnerabilities. In that scenario, you have mentioned in your rule to block that request. Then what happens? Obviously, the request will be blocked. So in this way, simply you can able to block certain traffic from hackers or unauthorized users to your website. So this is what we're gonna see in this lab today video. Now, to protect our website by using web ACLs, first we need to create a web ACL inside our WAF, that is AWS WAF. Then we need to attach this web ACL to our CloudFront distributions where our website got hosted. So for that, I have logged into my AWS management console. Now I'm searching for WAF. You can see WAF and Shield. Now I'm opening it. Now I need to create a web-based ACL in order to attach that to my website, which is hosted on top of CloudFront distribution. Here I have an option that is go to AWS WAF. You click on it so that we reach to AWS WAF related console. Or else you can directly type here AWS WAF. Or else you can simply type, since we are creating web-based ACL, right? Yeah. So I'm typing web ACL. So if you type like that, then you have an option that you got here. You can see under the features, you got an option that is create web ACL. You click on it, then also you enter into WAF related website. You can see this is the WAF related interface. This is the home for WAF related interface. Now inside your WAF, you have an option that is web ACLs. In order to protect your website from hackers or vulnerabilities, you must need to create a web ACL and attach that to your website. Then you need to configure the rules related to the request that you want to block or the request that you want to allow to access your website. So now I'm creating a web-based ACL. So that's why I'm clicking on web-based ACL. Here you can observe currently I do not have any web-based ACLs. Now I'm clicking on create web ACL so that it allows me to configure the options in order to create my web-based ACLs. Now, what is my source where my website is hosted? Currently, my website is hosted on top of CloudFront distribution. So that's why I selected this. Let's say your website is hosted on top of any other services like application load balancer or API gateway or Cognito user pool and AWS verification and access instances or AppSync or REST APIs, then you need to select this option. So since currently my application is hosted on top of a CloudFront distributions, so that's why I selected this as my option. I need to provide some name to my web ACL. Let's make it a name that is a web ACL 1. You can configure that name based on your requirement or based on your application so that you can able to identify that easily. You can see based on the name that we provided, similar to that, a CloudWatch metrics also creating now. Based on this name, your CloudWatch metrics will be created. Then you can monitor the traffic related to this website that is hosted on your CloudFront distribution on the CloudWatch metrics dashboards. Now I need to associate a resource, right? Yeah. So this CloudFront distribution resource that I need to associate. So that's why I'm clicking on add AWS resource. and I'm selecting the distribution that I've created, and then I'm clicking on add, so that the distribution got added successfully to here. Now I'm moving on with the body size of WAF. That is a 16 KB. That is the default one. Then I'm clicking on next. Currently, I'm not providing any rules, but under the description, what I did, I just provided the configurations related to WebACL, and I even provided the source, that is CloudFront distribution, to which this WAF is associated after it got created. I'll provide the rules after creating this web-based ACL. You can even provide by clicking on add while creating your web-based ACL itself. I want to show you how to add the rules after creating. Or else if you want, you can add now itself also. You can see we have two options. That is add managed rule groups and add my own rule groups and rules. So currently I want to show you how to add the managed rule groups here, and I even show you after creating your WebACL how to add the rules. I'm moving on with the managed rules, that is this, and I want to block anonymous users related requests. So that's why I'm selecting this. This is anonymous IP list. So I selected this, then clicking on add rule, so that this rule got added successfully here, right? Yeah. Now here you can observe, whenever you're creating a web-based ACL, based on web-based ACL capacity units, you need to manage the request, users request, that capacity. So for each and every rule, you need to provide certain capacity. That capacity must be less than or equals to 5,000. If it exceeds 5,000, it won't be possible to create your web ACL. So you need to take care of this. And in order to use up to 1500 WCUs, it may cost you, so that you need to check about the pricing as well while using this web-based ACLs. Now I'm just scrolling it up, and now the default web-based ACL action for every request that does not match with any rule, I'm allowing. That is, every request that hits this web-based ACL, that is allowing by default. If any rule is not matched, then I'm allowing each and every request. So that's it. I'm clicking on next. Now you can see, if you have multiple rules, then you can even move one rule to up, one rule to down, and you can arrange them in particular order how you expect. Now currently I'm moving on with the default order. That is since only one rule I've added, and now I'm just clicking on next. Now here you can see we can configure the metrics. Now I'm changing the request related sampling option to enable sample request, so that the requests which are sampled, those are enabled. Now I'm clicking on next. You can see it is the review session and creating our web-based ACLs based on our rules that we configured. Our 4 steps got completed. In the last step, we need to review and create it. You can see, based on our configurations that we provided, a rule is added, and our CloudFront distribution website also added. Then simply I'm moving it up, and I'm just creating this web-based ACL. Yeah, you can see you successfully created a web-based ACL. If you open this web-based ACL, then you can able to observe the associated AWS resources. That is this CloudFront distribution, I have associated this web-based ACLs. And then you can even observe the traffic related to that website that you host on your cloud-based CloudFront distribution. And you can even see the rules under this rules tab. You can see only one rule is allowed, that is anonymous IP list that we blocked, right? Yeah. Now I want to show you how to add rules to this web-based ACL in order to protect my application. So you have two types of rules. One is managed and second one is your own rules with your own rule groups. Now I want to show you managed rule groups. So that's why I'm clicking on add managed rule groups. You can see we are adding some managed rule groups after creating our web-based ACLs. Under AWS managed rule groups, I want to add two rule groups. One is two more rule groups. One is core related rule set. For what? In order to protect my website against exploitation of wide range of vulnerabilities, I'm adding this rule group. And in order to overcome SQL based injection attacks, I want to add this rule group as well. So I'm just clicking on add rules so that these two rules are also updated inside my web-based ACL, where this web-based ACL is attached to what? This is attached to my CloudFront distribution. Now let's verify whether the rules that we attached are working or not. So for that, I'm going to one more AWS service, that is Cloud9. I'm opening the service in another new tab. Now in this, I have already created one environment in order to request my website, that is a CloudFront distribution website, by using some online ID. I'm opening this Cloud9 environment that I have created. Now I'm expecting to request my cloud distribution, CloudFront distribution related hosted website by using URLs, that is a call. By using curl request, I want to request my website. Now I opened this bash terminal. Then here I'm writing the curl command in order to request my website. So first we need to save our website name in a certain variable so that we don't need to paste again and again that website related URL. Even that distribution related URL is available under our cloud, that is a WAF, since we're using that here. Now you can see here, yeah, we haven't saved these rules. Those two we updated previously. Now I'm saving this so that these two rules also saved there. Now you can see these two rules are saved and priorities also provided automatically here. I'm opening my associated resources and I'm just copying this distribution related URL. Again, I'm opening my Cloud9. Here, I want to store that data inside a variable. So that's why I return some variable name, that is CloudFront URL, in order to identify my CloudFront URL. Inside this, I'm storing this request related, my website related name. Now I'm clicking on enter. So whenever I called this CloudFront URL, I got this value as the answer. You can even see that echo dollar CloudFront underscore URL. So now you can see, do we got that? Yeah. So let's say I want to request that website by using curl. So then I simply write curl dollar this CloudFront URL. Now you can see, do I got the response? Yeah, I got some response. Let's say I want to clear this so that it will be, yeah, now it will be neat to us. Now I want to check whether the added rules are working or not. You can see I have added 3 rules, right? Yeah. I want to check whether they are working or not. Let's say one hacker is trying to inject some file or some file related request that hacker want to do. So what I need to do, I need to block those types of requests, right? Yeah. So now let's see whether that type of request is allowing or not. You can see this file is ending with some extension, right? Yeah. So now such a type of a request, you can see this is the again URL request, my website related URL request. Now I'm initiating the same by using call command. I'm initiating request to my website with some file extension. Now let us see whether I got response of my website or not. You can see I got 403 forbidden error. Since you added some rules, they are blocking this. You can see common rule set you added, SQL that is SQL injection rule set you have added. Since you added them, this common rule sets will block those requests. Now let's see one more type of injection type. Let's say I want to provide some script to this website, to this particular website. I want to provide some script from other websites. Now, during that scenario, let us see whether it is accepting the request, whether this website is accepting that type of post request or not. Now you can see, since we blocked the SQL injection as well, this post type injections also blocked, I think. Now I'm just clicking on enter. You can see I've already provided the script, user script that I am posting to where? Into my website by using what request? Curl. Now I'm just clicking on enter so that if you observe this, then you can see 403 error. That means it is not, our website is not even allowing cross-site scripting, that is other websites related post requests. Now I'm just clearing the screen again. So we have analyzed the two types, that is our website related rules are working or not. You can see these two types of requests. These two rules are working right now. Yes, right? Yeah. In real time, what are the other vulnerabilities or actions which might happen? Let's say if you see developers or if you see hackers, they might request your website with specific headers or specific querying, that is a further querying your website. So like that type of request they will provide. I want to block those type of requests also. So those, how can we able to block, sir? So again, since we have two types of rules, I want to show you how to add your own rule group and your own rules. So that's why I'm clicking on add my own rules and rule group. Now let us configure our own rules and rule group. You can see I'm moving on with this rule builder. If you have specific IP set, then you select this. Or if you already have the rule group, then you then you select this and provide that rule group. So if you have previously created rule group by you, that option is available here in order to create your own rule group from this option. If you created your rule group, then that you can provide from here through this option. Let's say if you want to provide IP sets related rule group, then you can choose that type of rule group by creating from here. Or else if you want to build your rule group from here itself, then you choose this rule builder to create your rule group from here. You have two formats, that is a JSON format is there to create your rule group, and this visual editor format is also there. Now you need to provide some name for this rule group. What I want to block specific header related, right? Specific header related requests, right? Yeah. Now under this also you have two types. I think we need to provide hyphens here in order to satisfy the rules. We need to provide a hyphens or underscore here, or no spaces we need to provide. Then yeah, under rule types you have two types. First one is regular rule and rate based rule. This rate based rule is nothing but how many times your request is coming. So that based rules you can able to provide from here. Regular based rules you can able to provide from here. In this video, I'll show you both as well. Now let us create a regular based rule. Here you can see if a request match with the statement, you can see multiple options are there. Currently, I am moving on with the OR option in order to provide two types of rules. So one rule is related to header related, and another rule is related to query related requests. Header related and query related, right? Yeah. So first one I want to provide related to header. You can see multiple options are there. Currently, since I'm focusing on header, I'm selecting single header, where that header you need to provide here. If a user requests by using that header, then that request will be blocked. I'm providing the header that is a X week spot. So like this, if I got header, then I want to block those requests in order to provide the response from my website. So that, and we need to provide the match type. My match type is size of that header is greater than or equals to 0 bytes. Then what I want to do, I want to block it, right? Yeah, I want to block it. Then the another point that I want to provide here is, so under the actions you need to provide which action you want to do. You want to count those requests or block those requests or allow those requests, or you want to provide a captcha to validate that request or challenge to validate that request. Since I want to block, I selected the block. Then after I am selecting with a query. You can see we have multiple options. So since I'm providing query related parameters, so that's why I selected this single query parameter, and my query argument also I need to provide here. Let's say if I got my request with the query X sneaky attack. So like that, if I got the query request, then I want to block that. So during that case also, I want to provide the size of my string which is greater than or equals to 0 bytes. Then I want to block it. Yeah, then I want to block it. So I provided the action as block and clicking on add rules, so that these two rules will get added to my web-based ACL. Here you can observe the bytes must be 0. We should not provide greater than that. That is less than that. Negative would not provide. You can see our rules got created. You can even manage them by moving up or moving down. So like that you can able to manage them. Now I want to check whether I need to save the rule groups as well. So that's why I'm clicking on save, so that currently added managed rule group also visible here to me. Since I added that, that is visible under my WebACL related rules. So now let's verify whether my website is blocking the request coming with a specific header or specific query request. So now I open my Cloud9 environment again. Now I want to request my website by using specific header, that is X week spot. So like that I provided my request with a header. Now let's see whether this request got blocked or not. You can see I'm getting 403 forbidden error. That means this request got blocked successfully. Now I want to check whether the query related requests are blocked or not. So that's why I'm providing this command. You can see this also blocked. You can see 403 forbidden error. Here I provided the query, that is X sneak attack, that is exploit. So like that I specified my attack name. You can see that related query also blocked. So that's why I'm getting 403 forbidden error. So whatever the two rules that we created by our managed own rule groups, those are working fine. Now I suddenly got a doubt that whether my website is working or not. So that's why I'm requesting my website by using call command without providing any header or any query. Now you can see I'm getting a 200 response, that is okay. That means, yeah, our website is working correctly and fine. Now I'm clearing this. Now previously itself we blocked SQL related injections, and we even, so let's move back to the architecture. Let's see the vulnerabilities. We blocked this SQL based unauthorized injections, and we blocked the post related requests, and we stopped the unexpected query requests related responses and headers related responses, and we stopped the anonymous IP related requests as well. So we have done all these things, but only one thing left, that is sending more. We want to block this, that is sending more number of URI requests than specific amount within 5 minutes. So like that I want to create a rule group. Let's say some of the hackers want to consume my bandwidth by sending multiple requests within limited amount of time, then it might cause my website that is unavailable to the customers, right? Yeah. So in order to block such a type of multiple requests, now I'm creating one more rule in my WAF, that is WAF. You can see I'm clicking on add rules, and now I'm moving on with my own rule groups, and here I'm providing the rule group name, that is block repeated requests greater than 100. I want to block the repeated requests from same user where that requests are greater than 100. And the This is a rate based request. If you observe, this is a rate based request. And limit we need to provide, that is 100. And here we need to specify the evaluation window. Within every 1 minute you want to check that, then you can select this, or 2 minutes or 5 minutes. Currently I'm moving on with the default window, that is 5 minutes. For every 5 minutes, if any user sends the requests which are greater than 100, then that user won't get the response till that 5 minutes got completed. So if that 5 minutes got completed, then after that 6th minute, he can be again allowed for another 100 requests. So like that, I am providing the rule here, and the request aggregation, I'm not changing, that is source IP. So based on IP address, source IP address, I'm aggregating the request, and scope of injection and rate limiting, I'm considering only the requests that match the criteria in the rule statement. And if it got matched, then what I am doing, I am just blocking that request, right? Yeah. Since this is a URI type based, now I'm selecting this as URI path, where that path contains, contains a string, that is a login. Then in that case, I want to monitor those requests and block the requests which are greater than this count, that is 100 within 5 minutes evaluation window. Like that, I am creating this rule. So this is what type of rule? I think greater than is we cannot able to put that. This is what type of rule? This is a rule based rule, rate based rule. I'm just clicking on add rule so that this rule will get added. You can see the rules are visible here. Now I'm just clicking on save so that this rule also will get added. You can see this rule also get added under the rules of my web ACL. Now I want to move back to my I want to move back to this Cloud9, and here I want to request to my website again by using curl. You can see I requested my website. You can see now I got the response, right? Yeah. Now I want to request my website 100 times. Then after I want to request my website one more time to check whether can I able to access that website in 101th time within 5 minutes. To send requests for 100 times with a login as the URI path extension, I have already written this. You can see I'm using a for loop in order to iterate over 100 times and execute this statement each and every time. So while each and every time what I am doing, I am just curling what my website, that is this, with a URI path that is /login. Now I'm just clicking on enter so that this got executed. Now you can see it is executing. So like this, it will send the request at most 100 times. So let's wait for a moment so that these 100 requests will be sent. And then after we try to send one more request and check whether our website is allowing that request or not. Since we provided a rate based rule, right? That is, it need to allow only 100 requests, 100 login URI path requests within 5 minutes. If that limit is not satisfied, then we are blocking that request, right? Yeah. So since to check that, we provided 100 requests, and now we are providing one more request, and we are sending it with login. as the extension, right? Yeah. So now you can even see the previous request that you sent. Yeah, within this double quotes only we provided that login. So let's provide here as well the same, and now let's enter it. I think there will be some mistake that we did. Now you can observe that updation may take some time. That's it. Now you can see whenever I provided one more request, you can see I'm getting 403 forbidden error. So after this 100 times request, now you can see here, this is the 100 times this CloudFront URL request with URI path extended with the login. What I'm doing, I'm again requesting my website with the login. Now you can see what I'm getting, that is 403 forbidden error. So since we are not moved, that is our login window does not exceed 5 minutes, but we sent totally 100, more than 100 requests. So that's why whatever the requests that are greater than 100, that is one or one request and one or two request will got rejected, and we got a response that is 403 forbidden. So that in this way this rule also working, right? Yeah. So now we have did fantastically we have protected our website that is hosted in our CloudFront by using which service? By using AWS WAF service, we created a web ACL and attached that with our CloudFront distribution. Then we attached the rules based on our request. We blocked certain SQL based injections, and we blocked certain post requests, and we blocked unexpected header and query related requests as well by creating our own rule group, and we even stopped the requests to our website where those requests are greater than 100 within first 5 minutes. And we have even stopped the anonymous IP requests by using by adding managed IP address, right? Yeah. So by adding managed rules, we have even blocked that anonymous IP. So these three we did by using managed rule groups, and these all we did by our own rule groups. So in these also we have managed, that is a already available AWS created rule groups, or else we have even used our own created rule groups here to manage this. In this way, you can able to protect your website from vulnerabilities that are created by hackers or some other users. So in this way, you can able to protect your website safely from these type of hacker related attacks or vulnerabilities in real time by using WAF. I hope you understood this video and you got a good knowledge regarding AWS WAF and web-based ACLs. If you see under traffic overview, then it even shows you how many total number of requests that this website got, and how many requests are blocked and how many requests are allowed, and the chart captcha related, challenges related. So every detail will be visible under these dashboards as well, so that it is easy for you to track, and even there will be the countries from where the request got initiated. Those all also visible here. In this web-based ACL traffic overview related CloudWatch metrics, CloudWatch related dashboard matrices, these all are. So in this way, you can able to create your rule groups in your WAF related ACLs and associate specific websites, and you can able to log the metrics, and you can able to save your application from unauthorized traffic or hackers. In real time, you can able to save your website like this. You can even enable your CloudWatch log insights to monitor the logs in depth. So I hope you understood this WAF service, and you also understood the real time need that is protecting your website by using WAF from these vulnerabilities. I hope this video is useful to you. If you feel this video is useful, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching again. See you back in the next video. Until then, bye bye guys.